जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, Chapter 4, Sri Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. So we were reading yesterday that Madhavendra Puri has arrived at Remuna, and after seeing the beauty of the deity Gopinath, he inquired about what offerings were being made to the deity, because by seeing the arrangements he had concluded that the deity must be being served with the best offerings. So by hearing about the offerings that were being made to Gopinath, he wanted to make the same offerings for his Gopal in Braja. So he was sitting in the first, of course, after seeing the deity, he danced and he sang, and then he sat down in the corridor of the temple, and he was talking to one devotee, asking about what offerings were being made. So then he heard about the glories of the sweet rice that was offered every night to the deity in 12 clay pots. And as he was hearing the glories of the sweet rice, right at that time, it was time for the offering of that sweet rice to Gopinath. So the priest was making the offering, and the offering was in front of Gopinath. And a thought came to his mind that if only I could get a little bit of sweet rice without asking, then I can prepare the same offering for my Gopal. But immediately he felt ashamed. How could I think of uh, enjoying, tasting something which has not yet been enjoyed by Krishna, which is meant for Krishna's enjoyment, something that Krishna is enjoying right now? How am I thinking of eating it myself? He felt so ashamed. And then the offering was complete, and the pujari blew the conch shell and he started doing the arati, and everyone offered obeisances, and there was musical instruments being played, there was kirtan. But Madhavendra Puri, as soon as the arati started and everyone was singing, he humbly offered his obeisances to the deity, and silently he walked out of the temple without talking to anyone, anything anymore. He just left the temple, and he walked and came to the marketplace, the vacant marketplace, because this was already the Shayan Arti, the night Arti. So everything was empty and was performing kirtan. So one more thing that we should note, that whether a devotee is joyful or a devotee is disappointed, under all circumstances, he has only one shelter. He takes shelter of the Lord. He just calls out to the Lord. If he is happy, he's chanting Krishna's names. And if he is facing some difficulty, or in this case, many times when, of course, this will be explained in the next verse, but generally, when we see some of our anarthas coming out, because we are under the impression that we are very, good and nice and good devotees, and then when these dirty things start coming out, then it is very difficult, is it not, to face that, and you feel so, um, as they say, cringed, right? You feel so embarrassed, and but what do you do? Where do you go? You cannot go away. It's there in you. So what do? You have to take shelter of Krishna, right? This is who I am. I'm so fallen. You know, I'm such a fallen person, and just call out to Krishna. We don't have any other shelter. So, of course, so was Madhavendra Puri is also like that? Was it a fault on his part? Actually, how do we know this? Because Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explained that Madhavendra Puri never begged anyone for anything. He never begged. He never begged. Uh, Ayachita vritti. He followed this uh, vritti or occupation of not begging. He would never beg anyone for anything, not for food, not for anything. If anything came of its own accord, he just accepted, but he wouldn't ask anyone for anything. Why? How was he able to do this? Because he was virakta and udasa. He had no attachment, and he was completely indifferent. His mood was that of detachment or no attachment and indifference towards all material things. So there's no question of his desiring something for his enjoyment, because he had no attachment. Why would he desire for something? Besides, he was indifferent. Whether it was good or bad, it didn't make any difference to him. So then why would he desire something? Even if he desired the sweet rice, was it because he wanted to enjoy it? No, it wasn't. So it's not that he desired this sweet rice because he had some, anarthas. It's not like that in the case of Madhavendra Puri. Even if he desired it for the service of the Lord only, not for himself. Nevertheless, the nature of a devotee is he feels himself always very lowly. So Madhavendra Puri was, he just walked out feeling ashamed. How could I even desire like that? So let's see what happened after that. Also, we read that meanwhile, the Aarti was complete, and after completing the Aarti, the priest came to put the deity to rest. Right? He went to put the deity to rest. Let me go back and see. 125. Madhavendra Puri left the temple and sat down in the village marketplace, which was vacant. Sitting there, he began to chant. In the meantime, the temple priest laid the deity down to rest. Yes. Of course, here in the purport also yesterday, Srila Prabhupada said that a devotee is, um, 2 points. A devotee is udasin, right, indifferent to material things. But when it comes to chanting, or he is unattached to material things. But when it comes to chanting Krishna's glories, he is very eager. So Madhavendra Puri's example is that even though he was a Paramahamsa Vaishnava, the topmost of all devotees, his eagerness to chant was like that of an aspiring devotee. An aspiring devotee, somebody who wants to be a devotee, right? In uh, Madhurya Kadambini, we read the different stages of Anishtita bhakti. Anishtita means you have not, your bhakti has not become steady yet. So what are the different stages? So first you have met the devotees, you got some shraddha, you are associating with the devotees, and then anyway, when you say some shraddha, when you talk about pure devotional service, after you get full shraddha, then you associate with devotees, and even after associating with devotees, you start bhajan, then bhajana kriya. But that bhajan is not nishtita, anishtita. It is not steady yet. Sometimes you fall down from your bhajan. So anishtita. Within that anishtita bhajan, there is different stages. So the first stage is, does anyone remember what is the first stage of anishtita bhakti? Okay, I'll just tell you. It's called utsahamai. Utsahamai means you're very eager, right? Very eager. Everything is so exciting. So, and then you just want to do, you just want to become a pure devotee immediately. So you're very, very eagerly doing everything, all the services and chanting and, rising early in the morning, Mangalarti, everything very eagerly you're doing. This is Utsahmai. This is the beginning stage. Actually, progress means it will continue on. It won't stop, right? Utsahat, even in Srila Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita, there also, what are the 6 do's for a devotee? Utsahat, Nishchayat, Dhairyat, Tattat, Karma, Pravartana. Utsaha. Utsaha means that enthusiasm to do devotional service. So it's not that if you have enthusiasm for devotional service, it's a neophyte quality. No, it's not like that. Actually, when you're advanced, you will have that utsaha. But the difference between the neophyte and the advanced devotee is, in the neophyte stage, initially you're very enthusiastic about anything new. You're very enthusiastic about it. But soon that enthusiasm fades away. When you see the reality in the sense, what you need to continue that, right? In order to show that, do that, you know, it's like reading Srimad Bhagavatam. You read, initially you're eager, I want to complete the entire Bhagavatam. So you're reading every day nicely. Once you complete reading once, oh, I have read it already now. Now you're not eager to read again. Now you're not eager, oh, maybe a little bit like that. Class is also, I know this pastime already, I don't need to attend this. That's not utsaha. So that means as long as you don't know something, then you're very eager to learn. And after you learn, then there is no more enthusiasm. That is not advanced devotee. Just yesterday I was hearing, yes, I think His Holiness Haladhar Maharaj was giving class in Mayapur. I think that's where I heard it yesterday. That how is it that Vyasdev is sitting and listening to Sukadev Goswami speak Srimad Bhagavatam? Vyasdev is sitting and listening to Shukadev Goswami. So the author, Vyasdev is the author who has compiled Srimad Bhagavatam, and he is sitting, and someone who has learned from him, someone who has read his book, is giving class, and Vyasdev is sitting and listening. How is it possible? Just think about it. And how is the speaker even speaking in front of Vyasdev? The author is sitting in front of you, and you won't you be nervous? I don't know what I'm speaking. Maybe I'll be making some mistakes. But Sukadev Goswami is speaking, and what was the, so here our concern or our point of interest here is, what is Vyasdev's mood? When Vyasdev was sitting and listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, he was listening as if he has never heard Srimad Bhagavatam before. As if this was the very first time that he was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. He was all ears when he was listening. This is an advanced devotee, right? He's hearing very, very attentively as if this is the very first time that he's hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And whereas he's the author, he's the one who's compiled Srimad Bhagavatam. And all others were also, Narad Muni, who instructed Vyasdev, is also sitting there and listening very, very eagerly. So that eagerness is very essential to make progress in bhakti. And when you make bhakti, when you make progress in bhakti, there he goes. When you make progress in bhakti, uh, that that eagerness is actually a symptom of your advancement. It's a symptom of your advancement. The only difference is utsahamai is also a stage of anishtita bhakti, but that utsaha stays just in the initial days and then it fades away. And then the next stage of anishtita bhakti after utsahamai is ghanatarala. Ghanatarala means sometimes you are very, very intense, very, very serious, and other times you become slack, right? So you go through these phases, ghanatarala, like that. And there are other stages also there, but this utsaha is seen in the initial stages, in a neophyte stage, right? That's the very beginning. When you first come in contact, you're very eager, but also this utsaha is seen in a very, very advanced devotee, but there it is like a continuous line. You're continuously eager. There's never a point where you're not eager or you're thinking, oh, no, you're always eager. So in Madhavendrapuri, you see this eagerness to chant the holy names of the Lord. And then in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying his eagerness is like that of an aspiring devotee, right? A new devotee who really wants to, wants to make progress initially, right? So that's the type of eagerness Madhavendrapuri had, only it is always. But see, now he's actually facing a difficult situation, right? He's feeling ashamed of himself. But even in that time, he's so eager to chant Krishna's names. He didn't care for food and water. What did we also read about Madhavendra Puri? What was his food? His food was Premamrita. He was drinking the nectar of Krishna Prema all the time. That was sustaining his life. Krishna Prem was his food and water, food and drink. So he didn't need any other food. That's why he didn't beg. If anyone gave, if it came on its own accord somehow or other, sometimes he may accept. If it didn't come, he was fine because he was nourished by Krishna Premamrita. So therefore, even though Madhavendra was feeling ashamed, actually there was no fault in him. So now we'll read the next verse. So the priest came to put rest to the deities, right? The priest came, after the arti, the pujari came to put rest to the deities. Nijakritya kori pujari korilo shayana swapane thakura asi bolila vachana. Nijakritya kori, right? So a pujari has his own duties, right? All the things that he has to do on the altar, put the deities to clean up, put the deities to rest, so on and so forth, and like that. And after all that, he himself went to sleep, right? First, he put the deity to rest. After you put the deity to rest, you have to put away, if shayan dress you put, night dress. So then the day dress, all the jewelry you have to put away, the dress you have to put away nicely. Clean up the pujari room, the aarti trays cleaned up, right? Clean the floor, everything. Just keep the whole place clean. And then you go to your room, and then maybe you take some, I don't know, drink some milk or something before you go to bed, and then read maybe a little bit and then sleep, go to bed. So the pujari, he finished his personal duties, whatever he has to do, and after doing that, he went to sleep himself. After he slept, after some time, in a dream, the Lord appeared. Gopal, not Gopal, Gopinath. Gopinath appeared in the dream of this pujari. Swapane Thakura Asi Kolila Vachana. He began to speak. The Lord appeared in his dream and began to speak as follows. Finishing his daily duties, the priest went to take rest. In a dream, he saw the Gopinath deity come to talk to him, and he spoke as follows. The Gopinath deity came and began to speak in the dream of the pujari. Uthaho pujari karo dwara vimochana. Uthaho pujari, wake up pujari, wake up. Karo dwara vimochana, right? Open the door. Koro dwara vimochana. Vimochana means to liberate, right? So dwara vimochana means open the door. It is locked up now, just open it up. Koro dwara vimochana. Khira eka rakhiyachi sannyasi karana. I kept one pot of kheer. I kept. Rakhiyachi means I put away. Khira ek. Khira eka rakhiyachi sannyasi karana. For the sake of that sannyasi. Which sannyasi? Madhavendra Puri Goswami. Hmm? For the sake of that sannyasi, I have saved one pot of kheer. Gopinath is telling the pujari, Uttaha pujari, koro dwara vimochana, kheera eka rakhiyachi sannyasi karana. O priest, please get up and open the door of the temple. I have kept one pot of sweet rice for the sannyasi Madhavendra Puri. Dhadara, Anchale Dhaka, eka khira hoy. तुम्हारा ना जानिला ताहा हमारा माया dhadara anchale achal, right? Like you have saris achal, right? So like that, the curtain of the altar. So dhadara, dhadara means cloth. It is said cloth curtain. Okay, achal means the end, right? Like the saris end is achal, like that the curtain's end. So dhadara achale dhaka. That means this spot is covered by the end of that um, curtain or the skirt of that curtain. Dhadara achale dhaka eka khira hoy. So covering, so hidden behind the curtain is one pot of kheer. धड़ारा आंचले ढाका एक खीरा होय तुम्हारा ना जानिला ताहा हमारा माया you don't know about this. The pujari may think, "Oh, I cleaned up last night, I made the offering, I brought all the pots out, how did I not notice that one pot is left?" By the way, he was not offering behind the curtain, he was offering all the pots in front of the deity. How did the pot go behind the curtain? So the Lord is saying, don't be perplexed. I hid it. Therefore, you didn't notice it. Because of my Maya, you didn't notice. Tumhara janila taha hamara Maya. You don't know about it because of my trick, Maya. This pot of sweet rice is just behind my cloth curtain. You did not see it because of my tricks. মাধবপুরী সন্ন্যাসী আছে হাটেতে বসিয়া তাহা কেতা এই ক্ষীরা শীঘ্র দেহ লয়া Madhavendra Puri sannyasi ache, he is hatete bosiya, he is sitting in that marketplace. Madhavendra Puri sannyasi ache hatete bosiya, he is there sitting in the marketplace. Madhavendra Puri তাহাকে তা এই ক্ষীরা শীঘ্র দেহ লয়া, take this kheer and immediately deliver it to him there in the marketplace, obviously right away, right? Shighra means immediately, very soon. So tahake, to him, you take this pot of kheer to him very quickly, as soon as possible, and give it to him. This is Gopinath's order to the pujari. Madhava Puri sannyasi ache hatete bosiya tahake ta ei khira shighra deho loya. A sannyasi named Madhavendra Puri is sitting in the vacant marketplace. Please take this pot of sweet rice from behind me and deliver it to him. स्वप्न देखी पुजारी उठी कोरिला विचार स्नान कोरी कपाट खुली मुक्त कोइल द्वार. So this pujari was sleeping and he was dreaming. And as soon as he saw this dream, he woke up and he started considering, was this a dream? He saw the Lord in his dream, but is this a dream or is it reality? Maybe I should go and open the door and see. So immediately he took his bath, snana kori, kapata khuli, Mukta Kaila Dwar, Kapat, right? Oh, that he opened the latch and then he opened the door. Mukta Kaila Dwar. स्वप्न देखी पुजारी उठी कोरिला विचार स्नान कोरी कपाट खुली मुक्त कइल द्वार. Awaking from the dream, the priest immediately rose from bed and thought it wise to take a bath before entering the deity's room. Yes, he thought it wise to first take bath before entering. He was sleeping, so he couldn't just enter. Madhavin, the deity told him just open the door, take the pot, and immediately give it to Madhavendra Puri. But he's a pujari after all. He knows, right? You cannot just enter the deity room without taking bath like that. You cannot touch. So he just he thought it wise to take bath. So he took bath in the middle of the night. And then he went and opened the latch and the door, opened the door. And then what did he see? धडारा आचले तले पाइलो एक सेई खीरा स्थान लेपी खीरा लोया होइलो bahira. So when he moved the curtain, he saw a pot of kheer there, exactly as described by Gopinath in the dream. The pot was actually there, and then he immediately picked up that pot. So what do you do whenever you eat or when you offer to the Lord? You have to clean that place, right? Because it's like, for us, it is juta, right? But for the Lord also, prasad and bhoga are different. Prasad is what he has already enjoyed. Bhoga is which has not been offered to him yet. So you cannot put them together. So after the Lord has eaten, you have to clean the place with a damp cloth, make it uh, ready for the next unoffered item, like that. So when he picked up that kheer, it was already offered. So immediately he cleaned that place. Thapana lepi, right? He cleaned up. Then kheera loya hoila bahira. Taking that pot, he went outside. According to the deity's directions, the priest found the pot of sweet rice behind the cloth curtain. He removed the pot and mopped up the place where it had been kept. He then went out of the temple. Okay, I think I will stop here today. For the past 2 days, I've been just chanting, attending Mangalarti from home. I didn't go to the temple because it was already late. By the time we finish the class, I'll try to get some today. I'll go to the temple. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing Chaitanya Bhagavat. Hare Krishna.